Okay.
Yeah. So, hi and welcome, and thank you for participating in this webinar. So, we are Canon for the Nordic photographers, Joonas and Sami. And
Joonas.
where are we, Joonas?
So, actually, no, we are live from the Scandinavian photo at the Stockholm, and this event has.
So, Canon has invited us to talk about the Canon R5 C today for you. And we are here at Scandinavian Photo in Stockholm. And firstly, we could talk a bit about Scandinavian Photo and tell you where we're actually at.
So, the Scandinavian Photo, it's a place for the photographers, videographers, all the content creation, and it's the full service store for all digital people, audio stuff, you name it.
Yeah, and you can check their website for an online shop, and then they have physical stores in Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and soon also in our home city, Helsinki.
In Finland. And we are so thankful that we are able to be here.
Yeah.
I'm right, Sami?
Yeah, really excited. And today our agenda will be shortly that we will tell you a bit about us, who we are, what is Northern Action, and after that we will go through a bit how we work, how we make videos, photos for our clients, and then talk briefly about why we have chosen Canon for our tools, and after that we will tell you how the R5C complements our toolkit.
And also we will give you a live editing sample how we work and how easy is to work with the R5C's footage and how it will match to our other gear.
Yeah, and after the webinar we have a short 10-15 minutes where we can answer your questions. You can write them down in the chat section once they come up, and in the end we will answer all of them.
Yes, we will go through the questions.
Questions can be everything related to us, to Canon, to Scandinavian Photo, you name it. So let's begin.
Okay, so it seems like we have also more people joining to the event. So little recap. My name is Joonas, and
I'm Sami.
And we are coming from the Helsinki, Finland, and we are Canon Nordic photographers or professionals.
Yeah, and we're commonly known as Northern Action, which is our company name. And so briefly, how long have we been already taking photos?
I think that's, despite of our young age already, I think it's over 10 years now.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit more.
Yeah, and then as everything goes, we met somewhere in the path, and then we think that why shouldn't we start taking photos together?
And to be clear, actually why our name is Northern and Action. Actually we started photographing sports and action kind of thing, and then we teamed up with the Sami, and we thought, okay, there are only photographers taking like photos from one angle, and there's only like always the same kind of photos from the sports events. For example, ice skating, badminton, ice hockey, you name it. And we met with the Sami and thought about, okay, because we were shooting like the same events, and we were thinking about it doesn't make sense because we will take the same photos and we will deliver the same photos to our clients, not so efficient. So we teamed up. We came up this idea, Northern Action, and we started to take photos from the different angle. And I think that was the start from our company or our name.
And now we've been shooting 6 years already together, and already over 4 years with the name Northern Action as a company.
Yeah, as a company.
So really nice.
Yeah, in the first years it was like just our nickname when we went to the events and that kind of stuff. But as Sami said, past 4 years it became more serious, and now we are offering our service for the companies.
And then from the photos, we also started to take videos, and nowadays we also make everything related to marketing, so websites and paid social and pretty much everything that gets you paid. So
yeah, because it was like asked so frequently that we will take the photos and videos and process them to the end users. So the clients wanted us to have like the full service for the photos. It's not only the videos, but also how we deliver and market it, or so on.
And now we could start to go a bit through how we work. So from sport photos, we moved quite quickly to videos. So how are we working today, Joonas?
Actually, should we tell about what we actually shoot?
That's a good point.
That's good, something to start.
Yeah.
Something what we shoot. I mentioned in the last slide that we started shooting with the sports and events and that kind of stuff, and that's true. And we also shooting sports today, but not as much. Nowadays we are like specialized in the landscapes, corporate lifestyle. It's more like B2B, and the landscapes and traveling stuff. It's kind of our passion. It's our hobby at the same time. Every photographer, I think, needs some kind of hobby, because then the working will become fun.
And otherwise it will be just work and not the everyday creating, and you will get also new ideas to the job part.
Yes, but we have been lucky because we have worked with the company that have enabled us to travel and took photos also abroad and make those nice time lapses and nature films and landscape photos for their usage, and also product shots from the nice scenery.
Yeah, so the name of few companies we have worked with during the 4 past years. So for example, BMW, then VR, which is the Finnish train company, and then Hartwall, Bang & Olufsen, and then Sports Car Center, and other big companies. So we have been really fortunate to get to experience this stuff.
So a little bit more. We have the title hybrid productions. It's so hot term nowadays, and in our case, what it really means.
Yeah. So basically, it means that if I'm taking the video, Joonas is taking the photos, and this is really important because in most of the cases, events, and if we're making commercials and everything like that, so then there's only usually one perfect moment, and to be able to capture that at the same time in video and in photos is really important, and that's something that our customers really want, and they demand it.
It's actually more cost efficient for the customers, because they will have.
Yeah, we can also cut the time we're taking the material to half, because we're working efficient and we're working together.
Flexible, I think that's the key word.
Yeah.
Also how we work.
So to demonstrate what this really means, we have a short video for you.
And actually, this the picture in the background of the slide. It's from the same production. It's like a little bit BTS. And so, I'm actually holding the Ronin 2 with the
C70.
Yes, with C70 and the Easy Rig and shooting the car.
Yeah. At the same time, I was taking photos.
So this let's talk a little bit briefly about the video. What you're going to see. So this this video shooting placed 1 year ago, was it?
Yeah, one year ago in the winter, and we had just gotten fresh snow, so we got green light from our client that we were going to take this video today. And as we had only one coat of fresh snow, we had to take it like one shot. So then it's extra important that if Joonas is taking the video, then I'm taking the photos at the same time, because we can't get a remake.
Yes. So let me run down the video. It's very fast-paced, and it's like very.
Yeah, so here we can see the cars running through the snow, and
so the video is about to highlight our clients' broad selection of premium cars and how they handle in the snow. So. Okay, here was the video.
And then.
And as Sami mentioned, at the same time we took the photos with our still camera, and from the photos went to the digital ways and also in the traditional ways to the cover of the magazine.
Yeah.
So I think this is a very good example to showcase how flexible this hybrid production could be and what it's mean in our case.
Yeah, and this is something that our customers like really want.
Yes.
And yeah, as I said before, it's really cost efficient, and we get a lot of stuff from the same shoot. So.
Yes, and I think the same principles also took places when shooting weddings. We have also done some, not only B2B, but some wedding shots and videos, and this case can be like multiplied so many different cases. Yeah. Like when you're photographing in church, you have only the one time.
Yeah.
One beautiful time you need to capture both the video and the stills, and when you know how we each other work, it makes things so much easier.
And in most cases, when we're shooting together, it's really important that we know like both of our ways to work. I know every time where Joonas is, and Joonas knows where I am, and then we are not jumping in each other's frames, so we're not visible in the same, like
in same frames.
Same frames. So that's something that's really important when doing these things.
Yes.
So now, as I promised, we will go briefly on why we have chosen to shoot with Canon. So I think both of us have started with Canon. If I remember correctly, my first Canon was probably a 60D.
Yeah, I had something similar.
Yeah.
60D or was it even 50D or.
And I think when we had played through the Canon path, we decided that we could try something else, and then we tested 2 years some other stuff, and it was great. But when our clients started to want some video, we started to think again that what would be like the best for us.
Yeah, and the most cost efficient, and which brand would have the best customer service also in Finland. That was our main priority when we thought about like our first big investment to our freshly accomplished company. Yeah. So we were so like we were taking so baby steps, thinking about okay, what are the pros of this system and what are the cons of this system, and after while thinking
and then we also tested quite many cameras, and then we decided that we would go with the C200. And then we started to think that if we have Canon, we have the EF mount, and then if we would have still equipment from another brand, we would have double lenses, 2 mounts, and we would have like double everything.
Actually, to be true, we actually shoot it like with the Canon C200 and some other brand for a while, and we thought about it's nonsense. We had like 2 7200s, all the duplicate lenses what we had. That was so, and we have like five large packs when we go to the gig, and okay, we thought about that doesn't make sense at all.
So then we jumped to changing also our DSLRs to Canon 1DX Mark II, and then we also had a 5D for a while for the higher megapixel count.
And just to clarify, at the time the Canon was the only brand which delivered all these things. It had like very affordable cinema camera or video camera, and very good still cameras, and very broad selection of the EF lenses, as I think all we know.
And for 2 students, one key factor is also that we got everything used.
Prices
so,
in used markets.
Yeah.
That was also very huge pros.
Yeah.
And also, as I mentioned, the customer service and the service after sales functions were so good with the Canon in Helsinki at that time.
Yeah.
So if the camera broke, it took only 2 days to get it fixed, and you also got like the rental camera for the time being. And
yeah. So just to demonstrate this quickly, when we jumped to the R system, before that, when we shot with the EF system and the Canon DSLRs, we had 2 of these big backpacks.
And some hard cases.
Yeah, and some hard cases and stuff like that. And now, when we go through our camera backpack today, we have this 15-liter Lover Pro, which is actually my first camera backpack. So we jumped a bit back.
Yeah. And a funny fact from the backpack, we didn't use this for so many years, because we just cannot fit anything in the back.
I think it had like one 1DX and one telephoto lens.
And after we decided to switch the fully RF system to Canon mirrorless system, we could fit all the cameras, to the 2 back cameras, to the one small thing. And this is not a marketing talk, because I think we didn't downgrade anything. I think we upgraded so many things. So could you show what we have in our
let's
pack?
go through. So nowadays in our camera back we have 2 bodies with lenses on, and then 2 external lenses. So we have the Canon RF 70-200 2.8, then we have the 50mm, the 1.2, and then
that's the key player in the back.
Yeah, and then there's the R5 with the 2870 f2, and then there's the new beast R5 C with the 1535. And then one side note, everything didn't fit quite here, so we have still the. Could you take it on?
Yeah, we still have one big camera, but to be honest, we can do like 70% of our work with these 2 bodies.
Yeah.
And as Sami mentioned, we had like 2 1DX2s and 1 5D Mark IVs, because we needed also one high megapixel camera to like print work and that kind of stuff. But nowadays, when you have and the 1DX was for the video, because the video was in the 1DX was very good.
Then we still had the C200 also.
And nowadays, because we have the R5, it shoots so fast. The autofocusing is incredible, and you have like 50 megapixels. It's basically
it did everything quite good until we got the R5 C.
Yes.
And after that, I think everything pretty much changed, because when we have the C70, it's a proper video camera. The colors are different. It's really easy to use. It's ergonomic. It has ND filters, and like the bit rate is so high. It has all the detail, all the dynamic range. So sometimes it was quite hard to color match everything with the R5, because in the end it's DSLR, it runs DLSR software, and it's more packed. It doesn't have all the colors,
all the depth, or at least we think so.
Yeah.
Because we have used these cameras so many years, so we saw like so little details that could make difference, at least for us. But I think we always trying to push the limits from our equipment, and we wanted to deliver as good as possible picture quality to our customers also. So I could say we are a little bit gear geeks, or we are gear geeks. So
yeah, so it went to that usually we had to come a bit back. We had 2 R5s, and then we had 1 C70, or in some cases we had to borrow or rent one to get 2C70s just to speed up the workflow.
Yeah.
And then...
Yes, just to clarify, because we always in most cases when we go to the production, we need one video camera, like A camera, and also B camera to get 2 angles. And also we need 2 still cameras because I'm usually taking the still photos. I like to have one like wider lens and one zoom lens or 2 prime lenses. So it's so much easier to work with 2 still cameras, as many of you know.
And then, as we showed, our A camera, the C70 is usually rigged on the Ronin 2, which is like really big. It's heavy, it's big, it's really good, but in some places you just need the fast, agile, handheld run and gun camera. So that's why we had to have always like a B cam for the C70 also. And then this one came, and to be honest, I think at first we wasn't skeptic. Yeah, we just thought that it's the R5, and then it has the C.
Yeah, because the specification weren't so impressive, to be honest, in the release, and we were okay, but then we thought about Canon can't lie with the lie with the C
because it's holy.
It's so holy, and always have been stand from like top quality video. So we were okay. At least we need to try it.
Yeah, because the jump from the R5 to the R5 C was like quite. It wasn't too steep.
Yeah.
So then we decided to give it a shot, and I think after that quite many things have changed, because now we can truly rely on just 3 cameras. When I'm taking the video with the C70, and then there's comes some place where I want to have a wide angle, or I can't fit the Ronin 2 in, so then I can just say to Joonas that take a short clip B-roll for me quickly.
Very tight shot or something. So then when I'm photographing stills, I could just switch my camera to the video mode and take like, okay, R5 takes also incredible video, but in our opinion, took the best DSLR video what possible with the R5 C, and like fill the storyline with like good B-roll, just like Sami said.
Yeah.
One ask,
And then also it has pretty much the same software as the C70. You can have
all the cinema cameras.
Yeah, and then you can have, for example, shutter angle. You don't have to think about the exposure time, so it's always 180, the same as in the C70. So the footage will fit perfectly. Because in the R5 you had the manually put also the exposure, and then it's not as fast and not as clean.
And also to summarize it, I think the biggest difference comes from the software, because it runs like fully blown Cinema EOS operating system in the camera, and when you switch from the photo to video mode, it took like 5 seconds because it loads the software, and because of that the picture quality and picture profiles and all these things are almost completely different than normal R5. But beside of that, you have the normal R5 operating system, so you can get exactly the same pictures as R5. So it's like win-win situation. And of course, because of the operating system, and we have the external fan, we don't have any kind of those
overheating
or heating issues what you could have with your R5.
Yeah. So to like summarize, this is like really something different for video compared to the R5. It's it's a C. Canon C.
Actually, we had something similar back in the days. I don't know if someone remembers when the 1DX was launched. Is it like 2012, 11? Canon also treated us with the 1DC, 1DC, and I think that camera was also the first camera to be approved for the BBC productions and that kind of stuff. But it was so expensive. It cost like over
11,000 or
or over 1 million kroner or 100,000 kroner. Or how the currency works.
11,000 euros.
Yes. And I think that this is like the second generation from that camera, because we had also opportunity to test that camera at the time, and it was also very incredible. It was like first camera to record 4K internally, DSLR, to have also a real gamma log and that kind of stuff. So I think this is like just new version updated to the specs.
But yeah, shortly, so I think this one gives us everything we need in photography, and then it complements the video side, where we need fast video in small spaces without rigging the C70 always out of the big cage from the Ronin 2.
And all the cameras use the same RF mount, so we can mix and match all the lenses how we want it. So we don't need all those duplicate lenses and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So
and I think that's true benefit overall of the RF camera system.
So what do you think? Should we jump to demonstrate a bit?
Yes.
How the color grading actually works?
In the next part, Sami will show you how easy this R5 C and 70 are. How easy you can color match it in the post-production, because that's also one main feature of the R5 C. The color profile are so close. I think it's actually in par with the Cinema EOS system, because this is like
it is Cinema
it's really Cinema EOS camera. So Sami could show us briefly how fastly you can do it in your post workflow. So this is just to demonstrate that it's not only the camera is good, it will also save time, real time in the post production.
Yeah.
Let's just see now.
So if I go through this briefly, usually when I start editing, I'll add a lot. So this is C-Log 3 material shot at 4K, 10-bit, and
actually these D-LUTs are from Canon website, so everybody using Canon products can download these.
You can basically choose where we want to start with your color grading. So I usually take the C-Log Luke 11 because I like the colors, and then we have a bit of a dark frame, so we can add some light. This one takes it has really much dynamic range, so you can easily put 1 to 2 stops and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
And this is not RAW. This is the 4K 50p. 10-bit 50p.
Yeah. So
and you can also shoot the 8K RAW, but we haven't used it quite a lot.
So yeah, now I added exposure, a bit of contrast, and then I usually make a small curves. So like this.
A normalized curve.
Yeah. And then, as you can see from here, it's edited, and then I have a C70 clip here. It's C-Log 3, 4K 50p.
And actually this is RAW.
FPS. Yeah, it's 12-bit for RAW. So then I just copy paste the blumetry in Premiere, and then when I apply it here, it's
so fast. And these are completely different camera, completely different also the scenarios, and it's just work, and this helps us a lot in our post-production.
Yeah, and same thing in pretty much every other scenario. Here we have shoot for an event. We have a quite dark frame. I can easily add like.
And this was from the R5 C.
This is R5 C. So yeah, now I added 1.5 stops. You can't see it, and then just small curves. Whoop. Yeah, and then we can just go ahead and copy paste it again here, C70 material 12 with raw. So that, and yeah, it's like, it looks like from the same camera.
Yes, and
Actually,
could you see it if I zoom it? And here's
Yeah.
also the detail shots. Sami pump up the exposure over one stop,
yeah, 1.5.
and
So,
there actually no difference
Yeah.
if you could see it from the stream. But
yeah, and just to highlight, when we're using the C70, we usually are shooting with the 28 to 70 because it's a Super 35, so it's a bit smaller sensor which affects the depth of field. But then the R5 C, it's full frame, so when we're using the 2470 2.8, it's like on par.
yet the look is like
Yeah.
little, it's the same, and it's also the benefit from the 28 to 70 to get the like same depth of field also.
Yeah, so that's also like really, they're like complementing each other. And then we have one example from an outside shoot. It's a bit more trickier light. It's direct overcast, so really tricky for almost every camera. But here also I can like easily adjust the exposure, no problem. And then add some curves. And this is again R5 C material, so when I copy paste the same lumetri setup from here and add it to the C70, it's again, it's like just unbelievable. And this is like really helping our workflow. I don't have to do 2 different color profiles for each camera. I have like one color grade edit each time, and then I can just apply it for everything.
Yes, and when shooting the events, you don't need to think about to have the exact right white balance, because you have the room for improvement also
because
from
there's
the
so much data, and also you don't have to think about the exposure as much as in the R5, because in the R5 you had the expose like always really much correctly, and in the R5C it has so much more dynamic range that you can expose a bit under or a bit over much easily, which is really beneficial when Joonas is taking stills and then straight away jumping to video.
Okay, no.
And then we have one last, just to show that the colors doesn't always match. There's always something that in this case
we screw up the white balance.
White balance.
We screw up the white balance.
And on a side note, this one is shot with R5C 50ps 10-bit, and then the C70 is also on 10-bit.
So not raw in this case.
So this is from the time that C70 didn't have raw. So now I make the same edit. Let's see, a bit up. And then to add a bit curves. And then when I copy it to the C70, we can see the C70 is also a bit darker, so I'll go and add a bit more exposure. But then also now the C70, it's much more yellow, it's much warmer. So then I can just go ahead in the R5C to add some warmth.
Very simple controls.
Yeah.
Not any.
Yeah. So now I've added approx 15, and yeah. Nice. Then you can see you can make a difference between the cameras. So now when we go this one through.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really easy, and this is something that really helps us going through our workflow and helps us in the post, so we don't have to use as much time there.
Okay. Where's the time going?
And then.
Okay. Are we in the last slide already?
Yeah. Yeah. So then we could check.
And thanks for it. And this and at this moment we would like to thank all the audience to listening us, and now we can go through some questions, and we have also like already like some questions written down from our audience at the store, so we can ask and trying to answer those questions.
So now there's one question. So what would you say is the biggest difference between the R5 C and the R5?
Should I start?
I could go briefly.
Okay, yeah.
So I think mostly, like in the beginning, you can see it's the like size different. If we take the battery back out, so it's a bit more bulky. So it has this fan. I don't know if you can see it good, but it's like quite much, or
it's like
not
2 inches, or 1 inch thicker.
Yeah, and then it has all the same controls in the up and behind also the camera. But then you have in the R5C you have this switch, which when you press photo, it goes to the photo menu, and in video it starts up with the video software.
With the Canon C software.
Yeah. So now you can, Joonas, continue.
So I think you cleared up the tables. That was, I think those are the
the main,
and of course
physical differences.
we should also mention, this is very handy. In the R5C we have actually the physical timecode port, and this comes handy when working with like multi-camera things. So you can sync the time codes if you need it.
And time code you will have also in the like these bigger video cameras like the C70, C200, C300. But then of course I think we have quite nicely gone through all the like technical differences in the video. And now there's a new question. So when do you choose to shoot with the C70 instead of the R5C?
So I think I could try to answer this, or I could answer this. Actually, we every time we go to the video production, we will shoot with the C70. That's our main A camera, and the R5C is, it's like Sami said, it's complementing the C70. We use it like briefly or mainly at the B cam. Or have we already used as the A cam?
I think not too many cases, but some smaller cases.
Yes, exactly. For example, I have one good example. When we are like shooting for very light social media like content from the client, we could take just one body and go with the model or with the product. So it's so much easier to work the fast pace like production with only one camera. So we don't need to bring our like big boy stuff. And also it's so easy because we have the vertical grip, we can shoot directly vertical video, and that's something what customers are asking much today.
And then one reason why we use the C70 as or A camera, it's because it's a bit more ergonomic, and it has the ND filters inside, which helps really much with autofocus. The autofocus works a bit better when the ND filters is inside the camera and not externally here. So that's something. And then it's much more ergonomic. It has also the audio switches here.
And you can also get those audio XLR inputs in the top of the R5C.
But then everything
is
internally here. So I think that's the main reason why it is
the ergonomics.
The ergonomics and the ease of use in the video. And then, so is there a big difference between raw light and raw standard when you edit? I think this is something that we can't answer because we have chosen to shoot everything in raw light.
Yeah, because we use the 50p.
And I think this is something where we have trusted our local manager Olli who has told us that the raw light is good enough for us.
but to be mentioned, it was so impressive when the C70
got the raw.
It's actually 12 bit.
Yeah.
It was really impressive because, for example, C500 Mark II, when you shoot in the 50p, it's 10 bit.
Yeah.
But in C70, it's 12 bit. And also with R5C, you have the RAW options. You can record 8K 30p and also 8K 60p. But when you're doing the 60p, you need to do one little trick. So you need to attach external power bank to the USB port.
And that's something we can get on the next question, which is can we tell a bit about the battery life and battery capacity in the R5C? So I think that's probably the main thing that needs to be think when you're shooting with the R5C. So if you have only one battery, the battery life will be probably when shooting 4K 50p, I think it's 40 minutes, half an hour probably.
Max.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we've chosen to have the battery grip. Then we can double the time, and then we have just really many of these LP6 batteries. But usually when we're taking, Joonas is taking photos mostly with this, and then some videos, so it's really enough to shoot a half day with it.
When you use it like the hybrid camera, you can almost use it like the whole day. When you're just switching to the video, take one clip and switch it back to the photo sites, then it will last. But if you just use the video mode or record like speaking head, I think you can get like with the two batteries, roughly 1 hour recording time.
Yeah, and then as Joonas said, you can use external battery packs.
So you can get the
if you want to shoot 8K raw 60p, you have to use an external power bank. But then you can have V-Lock or the external power bank, which is actually really good when taking time lapses because you can shoot with the camera forever.
Yes.
We had a fun incident when we were in the United States taking a Holy Grail time lapse. So we had at the time we had the 1DX Mark II.
Yes.
So then we had to hot swap the battery in between.
With the interval.
Yeah. So there was like 10 seconds time, and we missed it. So there's one shot missing, and you can see it. But here, when you can have external power bank, or even if you have AC supply, you can just plug it in and it will shoot pretty much forever. So yeah.
Something more?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think
we're pretty much done.
Pretty much done. Considered
so
done.
if there's no questions, so then we will be here for
couple of
hours still. So if you want to meet us, you are free to come here.
And also huge thank for the Scandinavian photo.
Yeah.
To make this happen, and also for the Canon Nordic. This has been so pleasure.
And we're really excited to visit Scandinavian photo in Helsinki also soon.
That's something we are looking forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.